Welcome back to Building SY Mistress, everybody, on what is another beautiful Sunshine Coast winter morning. In this episode, like the last episode, this is another one catching up on a story that's been going for quite some time. And to explain, I'm wanting to catch up on all of the stories that I've got clips for from periods in the past so that I can get on with showing you what's been happening lately, which I'm very excited about. And so in this episode, it's all about that LPG or propane gas fuel supply for the stove oven. That was really pushing me to my limits of tolerance, I tell you. I just cannot believe that it's been so difficult to find a gas fitter here on the Sunshine Coast just to be able to show up, point me in the right direction for the things I can do, and for them to finish things off. And so as you'll hear, it has been quite the drama, but as with persistence with pretty much everything, I did get a solution and I've done all that I can, which complies with all the regulations. But at the end of all of this, I do still need the gas fitter to do the inspection and sign it off, which I haven't yet had done, but that's all lined up. And so as mentioned, I wanted to get these things ticked off so that in the episodes ahead, it's all about what's been happening recently. And as always, if you like this video, I'd really appreciate you giving me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and leave a comment because I enjoy reading what you've got to say. On with the episode. Well, this gas install has certainly been giving me the muck around. There are a lot of local colloquialisms using other words for that. So I made a start trying to get this gas install done over 2 months ago, and I'm still not there. As I said before, wouldn't it be nice if they just supply the information to the public so that we can do things right the first time? Anyhow, several $100s more and another trip down to Brisbane to collect gear, and I've got what I hope now is what I need in order to get this certified. I've also changed gas fitter. I really was just being mucked around with that first guy, so I've had a good chat with another one, and I've got everything crossed that now I'm on the right track. There really were some key things different between the advice that I was getting. The way it's now been explained to me does make sense. When I look at the gear that I've got now, it certainly does make sense to me. It looks very professional. And so what this will involve, despite my hard efforts, I'm going to have to remove the gas pipe that I've installed already, replace it with this coated gas pipe, which the Australian regulations recently said is part of the requirement. And I have now got all the other fittings for the take two. So what I'll do now is remove this pipe, get this other one in place. I also need to just fit the 3-hole fitting for that drain, both in the locker and the hull. And then I'll be contacting the gas fitter. So cross your fingers for me, folks, that I get over the line this time. And just to say, with the first gas fitter, basically, I just didn't get anywhere. Despite me being in touch and asking him to come back, he just never showed. It seems that he always had a reason why he just never came back.
Turn the tide, let the water go where it wants to go.
So now that the main furniture build is behind me inside of Mistress, woohoo! It's now time for outside work. What I'm doing here is I need to put a hole through Mistress's hull, and that will be fitted with a through hull of course, but that is for the drain for that gas locker. I've marked it here, and that's nice and high up the hull, but at the same time I do like the fact that it coincides with the bottom of that locker, which means on this hull plate just after that chine it'll be facing down, which will angle that through hull fitting and provide a good downward exit for any liquids or gases. So I think that's a good spot, but at the same time it's where it has to be. So what'll be involved there is obviously cutting a hole through the hull, which will obviously need to be protected with the proper primer undercoat, and then of course sealant on both sides of the through hull fitting.
And sometimes we could all use a friend. Don't let your fears subside. That's how you break inside. You don't need to worry. Somebody's waiting down the line to pick up the pieces.
Brilliant. I've just checked on the inside. Excellent. Exactly where I wanted it. It's a little bit tricky to get to on the inside, which is why I had to drill it from the outside. And here we go. That'll be sweet.
There will be someone waiting down the line.
Very well packed. Oh. Now that is different. Solid.
So this is how we end up. Shades of blue and gray. I feel just like an empty bottle. My dreams are on delay. Away. Take me far away. Spins off and I am all derailed. Just drive all the way to the rainbow's end.
So what I'm up to here is I'm getting the sensors for the gas alarm all in place. In Australia, it's not one sensor but two are required to meet the standards. I've got one, as you've seen me just install here, at the bottom of this stove oven space, as recommended, and the other one needs to be in the bilges but not anywhere that it's likely to get wet. So what that means is the sensor that will be down in the bilges, I'll mount underneath the bottom of that galley cabinet and then route that such that it'll come under the bilges to meet up with the wiring from this sensor, and all along the way it's going to be running inside of this loom tubing, and then it needs to come up out of the bench here, go up along the lining there, through a bulkhead, and then come around and meet up with the control panel. So quite a bit of work involved. Holes had to be drilled, which all got 3 coats of epoxy to seal those up. And so now it's a case of running both the sensor cabling and this tubing. So the plan to get this whole gas install inspected and signed off will be, once Mistress is launched, which by the way, I guess a bit of a sneak peek on that info, those plans are all in place now. Yay! So what will be happening is, once she's launched, pretty much straight away, I'll be steaming, as in motoring, down to the Gold Coast, where I've got a terrific and internationally recognised gas fitter to do the inspection, give me the certificate and sign off and everything. That has all been thankfully agreed to and sorted. So thank goodness, and all of that now is done. Till next time everybody.